People who watch this channel will have seen, of course, the brilliant movie The Devil Wears Prada, starring Meryl Streep, as one of those people that we've all had them, haven't we? You know, the sort of boss, the nightmare boss that you're absolutely terrified of, and you kind of think, oh no, you know. And it's the sort of thing that really, you kind of think, are people truly like that? Well, allegedly, of course, that particular movie was based on Anna Wintour, the superpower behind the Vogue magazine company, you know. And it's interesting, we told you recently about Vogue. They're truly struggling because the bottom line is they had to sell their Mayfair offices because it was worth a lot of money. And they say, no, it's a new start, a fresh start. Listen, this is business. I told you before, in the studios that I was working in, you know, they used to give away copies, all of glossy magazines of Vogue. Nobody picked them up simply because they're too heavy to cart around, whether you've got a trolley or a handbag or whatever. They're just too big. And they're full of clothes that you've got no idea about, right? Am I right, girls? This is the thing, right? But on a serious note, it's very difficult, isn't it? Because if you are the brand new boss of Vogue, taking over from somebody who grabbed the limelight for a number of years, Meghan's pal Edward Enninful, you've got to try and do something that's radical and get a lot of interest. So Choma Nandi, the new editor of British Vogue over here, decided to do this. But apparently, according to a very well-placed source, it's already caught the wrath of Anna Wintour. As ever, let me explain. Good to see you today, and as ever, thank you so much for your time. Nice to have your comedy, whatever you're doing. We'll have a lovely wave. Do you still buy things like Vogue, ladies? Because I don't know about you, all magazines, I'm not picking on that one, all magazines seemingly are very expensive. Even the TV guides, I think, wow, really? You know, it's a lot of money to shell out every week, isn't it? It's a big commitment. And let's be honest, you can find them in other ways now. That's the problem with the publishing market. So when you think about Vogue, it's aimed at people who are incredibly wealthy, people like you and me that like to be wealthy and look at people and think, would I wear that? Could have seen myself in the supermarket in that, you know, the sort of thing. Now, Choma Nandi, as I say, is the brand new editor of Vogue over here, the British version, and her boss is none other than Anna Wintour. Now, Choma, of course, has been at the magazine quite a while now, was a feature writer, and has been, shall we say, seen as a rising star in the magazine world. Moving forward, she obviously got the job, and everything was going hunky-dory. But you've got to be very careful if you mix fashion and politics, as many people now realise, because fashion and politics don't sell, you know, it's kind of just not the thing. Even when you look at it previously, every time they've attempted this, it's never come out well. But Choma is something of a, shall we say, latent activist. Recently speaking on the little watched Channel 4 News, all about racism in fashion. So you see the narrative of where this is going, right? Now here's where it gets interesting. She decided to organise a photo shoot with all the brand new women of Parliament of the brand new Labour government. Not a bad idea, you might think. Women in power, all that sort of stuff. The thing is, very quickly, just as the magazine went to publication, 2 of the MPs got suspended and have still to return, such as the severity of what they got up to. So this it makes Meghan's Force of Nature episode, doesn't it? The front cover with the mirror on the front and omitting Her Majesty the Queen seem quite tame now, I'm sure you'll agree. Apparently Choma, well, you know, was literally devastated by this bombshell news because obviously she thought she could push this as, you know, advocating women in power, etc. Of course, the other ladies were absolutely thrilled to be in Vogue, and who wouldn't be, let's be honest. But the bottom line now is it just proves the point, and this won't be happening again. And this has come from the top. Somebody who is, well, shall we say, very powerful in some glasses. Don't mix the two, as ever, we have to say, allegedly. So while they've started off all right, let's just see how long they last in the job, because quite frankly, if they keep making mistakes like this, and let's be honest, who of that level of women really buy into Vogue? Sales are down, they're plummeting, ad revenue is down, and the bottom line is they've had to move because they can't sustain their Mayfair office. Times are a-changing at Vogue, and this does little to stem the flow of decline. I'm sure you'll all agree. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.